I put a drop of aquarium water underneath the microscope, and what we're about to look at may surprise you. All right, I'm about to put the tiniest bit of spirulina powder inside this little droplet here. So let's see if we can make that happen. And then let's see what it does. Oh, he's eating it, guys. He's eating it. Like, he's legit eating it. You can see him munching on it right now. This copepod or whatever it is 100% eating that powder, this spirulina powder. Alright guys, in case you haven't figured it out by now, we're going to take a look at a microscope by Tom Love. They're actually the sponsors of today's video. They sent this amazing microscope. I thought it was going to be like a toy microscope, but this thing is legit. We're going to look in our water and see everything inside of it. But before we do, let me see if you guys can guess some of these common aquarium things that I'm going to put underneath this microscope and see if you can guess what it is. Alright guys, I'm about to show you item number one that I'm about to put under this microscope. It's going to show up here on this LED screen. Hopefully you can't see what I have here. It's pretty tiny, but you can still see with the naked eye, but you're about to see it under a microscope. I'm going to record the video on the microscope. It's pretty cool that it does that. Overlay it so you get a better image of what I'm looking at. And try to guess if you can. Alright, here we go. Here's the microscope. About to slide it underneath. Guys, can you see that? What does that look like? So this is the overhead light right now. So you have two light mode. You got, this is like something really orange and crispy. Some of you probably already know what this is. Those that have been around a while, you probably know exactly what this is. So essentially it has an overhead light. Let me do the under light, the bottom light here, and then I can get a little bit better clarity. There we go. What do you guys think this is? If you guys guess fish food, you're right. Is actually one of these fish flakes here, just your common everyday staple food that you probably feed your fish. That's what this was here on the glass. Oh, it just slid off. Just a little piece of flake, if you guys can see that. Alright, so this next thing, item number two, this one's pretty cool. And this is very common in aquariums. See if you guys can guess what this is. I'm going to record it on the microscope so I can do an overlay so you can really see it. Here we go, slowly getting to it. And here we are. Let me get it in focus. That's probably it. Let me do the underlight. Guys, can you guess what this is? It kind of looks like what it is, even under the microscope. I'm going to move it around a little bit. We'll get better looks at... Oh, guys, I see something in there right there. That's a little piece of like detritus or some kind of worm there. Let's see what we have here. Oh, guys, look at it. There is a couple things moving. This thing's kind of hairy, kind of giving away what it is. Let's look at the very most top. You can kind of see it textured a little bit. It's green. Can you guess what this is? I'm going to do increase the brightness a little bit. And maybe I'll zoom in so I can change here. We can zoom in a little bit. See if this gives you a better idea of what it is. Ah, tons of little hairs almost. Switch it to the up headlight so we can get an overhead light so we can get a better look at it. Very green, blob-like. Has some life in it from what it looks like. What do you guys guess this is? If you guys guess algae, you're 100% right. This is, oh, I'm really zoomed in. Let me zoom out a little bit. That was hair algae from one of my fish tanks. As you can see here, just a little blob of algae. So if you guessed algae, you're 100% right. And guys, this is a tiny bit of algae, and we saw life in there already. We saw a little bit, we saw a few things moving around. So in this tiny droplet of algae, there's somehow life in here, which is incredibly interesting. All right, guys, this next one, if you don't guess this right away, like, I don't know, are you even a fish keeper? But take a look, see if you can guess what this is. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in, not on my face this time. Look at the LED, look at the screen here. I'm just gonna slowly push it into focus here. All right, any guesses? Can you guys guess what this is? It's green, it's round, oval-like, and that's the rest of it. I'm going to go ahead and do the underlight instead of the overlight. This is what it looks like kind of underneath the light. And the overlight once again. Crispen the image up a little bit. Alright, if you guys guessed duckweed, then you're 100% right. That was duckweed. It's probably in your tank right now. You probably can't get rid of it. It's annoying. I have a love-hate relationship with duckweed. It gets everywhere. It's messy. I can't get rid of it, but it keeps my water clean. I can prolong water changes a little bit longer. That's why I like duckweed. But let's go ahead and dive in and look at our water now. Alright guys, we went ahead and pulled just a single droplet of water from one of my fish tanks, and look what we see. Now, this looks like it's some kind of living organism. I'm not 100% sure. It could be a water flea, but it's probably some type of copepod. Maybe a water flea is a copepod. I'm not sure. But dude, guys, look, there's this like worm thing in here too. And now, this droplet of water is really, really tiny. So that means the organisms in here are super tiny. Now, when you look at it with the naked eye, all you can see is like these tiny white specks just moving around. So you can barely see some of them with the naked eye, but they look like a little speck. I'm guessing this is some type of, I don't know, detritus worm. I don't even know if that's, I'm pronouncing it right. Maybe it's planaria. I'm not sure, but this bug is definitely some kind, I'm saying bug, but this other guy, the one that moves quickly, that's not worm-like, is probably some kind of a copepod. Guys, if you know what it is, let me know in the comments down below, so that we all are just a little bit more well-informed. But in this single droplet, you can see tons of little bitty things moving around. That's probably paramecium, to be honest. Little tiny infusoria moving around. There's tons of like chunks of things. It could be decaying organic matter. And then there's these giant copepods. Well, they're not really giant. They're microscopic. But under the microscope, they look gigantic. Which is really interesting. Now we're switching so that we can see the top view and hopefully get a different look. No, I just zoomed in a little bit more. And let's see what these guys look like. It looks like that was like a leg to a copepod or an antenna that fell off. But this is one of the guys. Let's see if we can get him in focus here. Oh, never mind. Look at this guy. So I don't know what this is, right? I don't think it's a parasite per se, but it's definitely alive and it's moving and it's looking for a way out. Now, this was water that I got at the underside of a dying piece of dwarf water lettuce, so I knew there was going to be life there, kind of, you know, eating the decaying stuff. That's normally where you find a ton of these microscopic organisms, just kind of feeding on that. So I took a droplet of water from there, and this is what we're seeing, which is incredibly interesting. Now, I did want to get the top view as well, and I see if I can get it in focus here. And this guy he's really active. He's really fast. You can see, like, I guess it's breathing inside, and you can kind of see him like eat things too. Later on, I'm gonna feed him some spirulina powder, and it's incredible watching these guys eat. But super cool to see what's in our water. There's all kinds of stuff in here, guys. Now, instead of having the light on the bottom, I'm having the light on top now, so we can kind of look like what this thing looks like instead of looking through it. Now, this is one of the copepods. I'm turning the brightness down. His eyes are red. I think those are his eyes. Like, you see how that reddish color at the front? I'm pretty sure that's his eyes. This thing looks like a copepod, looks like a water flea. I'm not 100% certain what it is, but I know they're fairly common in the aquarium here. You can see all types of stuff. Let's see if we can find that worm again and really see. Oh, here it is. Let's see if we can get in focus now. See, the head shape doesn't quite look like planaria, so I'm thinking it's some type of detritus worm. That would be my guess. But guys, if you know, drop it down in the comments below if you have a guess about what this could be. Tons and tons of life in this single droplet of water. Guys, and that's just in one drop of water, like a tiny, like as big as my, I guess, fingernail here on my pinky. Like one drop of water, and we saw tons of little tiny, I don't even know what they were, and then we saw larger copepods, I think they were. We also saw little bitty worms. They could be paramecium, it could be some kind of infusoria. I'm not 100% sure, guys. If you're kind of really into looking at microscopes and looking at microfauna and small little organisms, and you know what these are, put them in the comments below. I would love to know what's in my water here. I'm gonna do some research, see what I can find on the internet. But guys, there's a lot in your water. Now, I did this same thing with tap water, and what we saw is that there's nothing in there. There's a few chunks of things that don't move. I'm guessing that's some minerals, some mineral deposit buildup, thing like that. But there's no organisms in there, which is really good, right? But there's so much gunk in here. Now, one thing that I wanted to say about this is that whether you know it or not, you have microfauna and microscopic organisms in your tank, right? And so if you just feed them, you can really increase the population. Now, what I use something called spirulina powder. Now, this is how I normally raise baby fish and culture an infusoria all in the same tank, right? And so what I do is I feed them some of this green powder, which is spirulina powder, and this actually feeds the infusoria and other microorganisms in the tank. And the fish can eat them because it's really fine powder food, so it actually makes great fry food as well. But what I noticed, because I originally wanted to use it as fry food because it's packed with protein, but what I noticed is my infusoria just blew up. Paramecium started, I started seeing them everywhere, and the fish would go at them and start eating them. And so what I noticed, not only does it feed fry really well, but it feeds your infusoria, your microorganisms in your tank love spirulina powder. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some in the tank just to kind of feed some, and maybe I'll put like a tiny bit in this droplet and we'll see what it does. All right, I'm about to put the tiniest bit of spirulina powder inside the inside this little droplet here. So let's see if we can make that happen, and then let's see what it does. Oh, he's eating it, guys. He's eating it. Like, he's legit eating it. You can see him munching on it right now. This copepod, or whatever it is 100% eating that powder, this spirulina powder. Yeah, so here's our copepod. I think that's a copepod. Spirulina powder is all sprinkled around it, and you can see like little things just going. He's just munching right now. Oh, you can see him digesting it now. This is insane. This is crazy. I did not think this would work as quickly, but he's attacking it. He must have been hungry. Whoo! All right, let's see what else we have. We're gonna turn the light around and see what else we can see. He's still munching. Yeah, he's still going at it. Alright, so copepods love this stuff, and then your fish would love to eat copepods. Let's see what else we have. I don't see the other copepod. Oh wait, there's one right there. I was just zoomed in too much. Here's another copepod right here, just munching. Yep. Oh, he's munching, all right. You can see his eyes. His eyes is glowing red. That's his eyeball. Crazy. Alright guys, I had a blast playing with this microscope that Tom Love sent me. Check it out on Amazon. I'll send the link down in the description. This thing's pretty cool. If you want an entry-level microscope without spending a ton, so you can look up different algae, different microfauna, whatever you want. We were looking at ants the other day. We were looking at fingernails too, just to show how nasty they were to my daughters. But this thing's really cool. Whether you're a fish keeper or not, this thing's pretty cool. I really like it. It's super easy to use. And I'm gonna play around it some more because I love seeing these little copepods just feed on the, look at that one was eating just right in front of us. He's eating the spirulina powder. This stuff really works. This microscope is awesome. Tom Love, thanks for sending this out. Thanks for supporting the channel. And guys, I'll see you next time.